Hi there, now we're going to do lesson 198. Only my condemnation injures me. Injury is impossible, and yet illusion makes illusion. If you can condemn, you can be injured, for you have believed that you can injure, and the right you have established for yourself can be now used against you, till you lay it down as valueless and unwanted and unreal. Then does illusion cease to have effects, and those it seemed to have will be undone. Then are you free, for freedom is your gift, and you can now receive the gift you gave. I mean, this is so powerful and so important, because when we have the illusion that we can attack, we create the illusion that we can suffer, that we can be righteous, all illusion upon illusion upon illusion, and we've got to start the process of undoing one, and then the rest will begin to fall apart. Sentence 1 in paragraph 2, condemn and you are made a prisoner. Forgive and you are freed. Such is the law that rules perception. It is not a law that knowledge understands, for freedom is a part of knowledge. God doesn't understand this whole thing about having to forgive to be free. God gave us freedom, period. But forgiveness is the gift that we give ourselves when we begin to do what God created us to do, which is forgiving love, for extending, for the process of giving away love. To condemn is thus impossible in truth. So we're having a conversation here that says that what you think you did, you actually didn't do, because in the mind of God, there is no way that anything but love extends, period. Condemnation, judgments, they don't extend. They only happen in our own mind. Our mind is blocking itself with illusions that are not real, that are not affecting where we are in God. It's not changing that we are in God's mind, and it's not changing that we're all powerful and have love to give. What seems to be its influence and its effects have not occurred at all. So at the end of the day, all of the judgments, all of the condemnations that we've done really have not even happened, because they cannot be real. They cannot be part of what God created, because God did not create those things. So we are having an illusion. It's almost like we've created a bubble inside of heaven. In the world that we see around us, we have created this idea that we are hurting and affecting one another, when in reality it is all happening inside to ourselves. But no matter what we do to one another, it's not going to stop creation from going on, because we don't have the power to alter what God created, only to alter our experience of it. Only experience, but not to alter who we are. Yet must we deal with them a while as if they had. So as we begin to forgive ourselves, we begin to forgive others, we're going through the process as if this was really real, as if dad really abandoned me, as if my husband really wanted to get a divorce, as if he really had money that he took from me. So I'm moving through those things as if they've happened, but in my mind, if I don't think about it, it's not even real. What I am is still as God created me. It's amazing. It's like that magic eraser. Once you begin to forgive and let things go, it's like they're not even in your mind. I have to work really hard at remembering the stories that I used to carry about what others did to me. It's really fascinating. Illusion makes illusion, except one. Forgiveness is illusion that is answer to the rest. So forgiveness is we're making up forgiveness. God did not create forgiveness. God created love for giving it to everybody else. We're here to extend love everywhere, for giving it freely to everyone. So the illusion of forgiveness is the process by which we change our mind from giving fear, from giving judgment, to forgiving ourselves, so that we can shift and then begin to give love. Paragraph 3, forgiveness sweeps all other dreams away, and though it is itself a dream, it breeds no others. Once you extend love and you use the love that you have and you begin to give it, it wipes those other dreams instantaneously. You may have to repeat it a few times for it to really get grounded, unless you truly believe it, and then one time is all you need. I needed to do it many, many times. For other things, today, my forgiveness is pretty quickly. I do it one time and that situation is over with. Sentence number 2 in paragraph 3. All illusions, save this one, must multiply 1,000-fold. So every illusion that we are creating of hate, of anger, it's multiplying. That's why we have these wars upon millions of people, because hate of one multiplies to hate of others. One president hating on another president in one country multiplies to hate of the whole, of all the people in that country, or to all the people in that culture. So we got to be really careful, because our illusions have power because our mind is projecting them, although they don't have the power to alter what God created. That's what's fascinating here. But this is where illusions end. Forgiveness is the end of dreams, because it is a dream of waking. As we forgive, we begin to wake up from the dream. It is not itself the truth, yet does it point to where the truth must be, and gives direction with the certainty of God himself. So we have been given this process of forgiveness as a way to show us that love is meant to be for the giving of it. So as we forgive and we extend love, then we've said, we've allowed what God created to flow again. And that's what God is certain about, that love is for giving it out. It is a dream in which the Son of God awakens to his self and to his Father, knowing they are one. Because when you are not hating on anybody and love is what's flowing through you, that's how you feel God. That's how you know God is in you. That's how you know real love, because we don't know real love. We know conditional love. That's why we judge. We know conditional love because that's what our parents taught us. It's what others taught us. If we did this, then we would be loved. So as we begin to forgive, the true forgiveness at the core states, when you understand that think you're hurting somebody else, is really hurting you, and you understand all of these steps, and we're on lesson 198. If you've been doing 197 lessons prior to this one should make perfect sense. So let's go to paragraph 4. Forgiveness is the only road that leads out of disaster, past all suffering, and finally away from death. How could there be another way when this one is the plan of God himself? So there is only one way that we're supposed to go, and that's the way of extending love. And why would you oppose it, quarrel with it, seek to find 1,000 ways in which it must be wrong, 1,000 other possibilities? How many times have you tried something else other than forgiveness to make you happy? How many times have you tried anything other than forgiveness to feel joyful? I know I have tried all kinds of other things to feel joyful, all kinds of meditations, all kinds of processes and things and baths and potions and salts and oils and things to make me feel better, when forgiveness is all we need. That's it. That's the one true forgiveness, the one taught in the Course in Miracles. Forgiveness given truly returns you to your true self as the essence of love. That's the only thing that wakes us up. That's the only thing that saves us. Paragraph 5. Is it not wiser to be glad you hold the answer to your problems in your hands? Is it not more intelligent to thank the one who gives salvation and accept his gift with gratitude? Is it not more intelligent to just do what we're being told to do, that returns our mind to its proper state of joy, of peace, of heaven on earth? And is it not a kindness to yourself to hear his voice and learn the simple lessons he would teach, instead of trying to dismiss his words and substitute your own in place of his? I know I did this. I am a very intelligent person. I know many intelligent people, many intelligent healers, many intelligent spiritual people who try all kinds of things, all processes, all kinds of things to find happiness. And even though they know about forgiveness, some don't know that this is the way to go. They spin inside of their spiritual wheels, trying to find the next potion, the next doctor, the next thing that's going to give them what God already gave them inside. And it's only achievable through forgiveness, because love is for the giving of it. When you stop withholding love through judgment of others, through attack of others, through condemnation of others, you release yourself to feel God inside of you. There is no other way. Why use your intelligence to block that? Because you let your ego run your life. I know I did. I wanted to believe it couldn't be this easy. My mind was trained that it had to be very difficult. My mind was trained that I needed all kinds of certifications before I could actually know what I was talking about to be able to do this. Craziness. The ego has us creating so many freaking illusions so that we don't get to the truth. So simple. So simple. Paragraph 6. His words will work. His words will save. His words contain all hope, all blessings, and all joy that ever can be found upon this earth. His words are born in God and come to you with heaven's love upon them. Those who hear his words have heard the song of heaven. His words, Holy Spirit inside, your soul inside, Christ consciousness inside. For these are the words in which all merge as one at last. And as this one will fade away, the word of God will come to take its place, for it will be remembered then and loved. So when you forgive, when you no longer want to blame anybody else because you know you're only hurting yourself, the spaciousness inside of you, you're going to feel love, you're going to feel God. That's all you're going to want to do. That's it. You're going to want to only love. It's going to be delicious. Absolutely amazing. Paragraph 7. This world has many seeming separate haunts where mercy has no meaning. An attack appears as justified, yet all are one, a place where death is offered to God's Son and to his Father. Attack is death being handed to another, but it really ultimately it's you who's being crucified. You may think that they have accepted, but if you will look again upon the place where you beheld their blood, you will perceive a miracle instead when you forgive. How foolish to believe that they could die. How foolish to believe you can attack. How mad to think that you could be condemned and that the Holy Son of God can die. How foolish that we've been believing that. Paragraph 8, the stillness of yourself remains unmoved, untouched by thoughts like these, and unaware of any condemnation which could need forgiveness. Your holy self, that spirit in you, that soul in you, has not ever moved from its perfect place within. We have just created barriers to knowing that it is there. We're removing those barriers, which are thoughts that tell us that we're not who we are, thoughts that have us accused and blame out there, thoughts that tell us that we're sinful. As you release those thoughts, which as we read earlier feels like terror because you're letting go of who you think you are, as you remove all those thoughts, you're going to come back to the truth of who you are that has been true and holy and sinless and perfect always, because that's how God created it. Dreams of any kind are strange and alien to the truth. And what but truth could have a thought which builds a bridge to it that brings illusions to the other side? We're building a bridge, moving from fear to love, from ego to God. Every choice that you make for the truth moves you on that bridge, moves you closer and closer to the truth. The path is as long as you want it to be. But you can in an instant get to love if you forgive. But you have to make that choice. But in time, it appears that it's going to take a while because we have projected so many beings out there that are coming to give us pieces of our puzzle. And as we experience them and we have irritations, those are invitations to see our ego's motivation. We come inside, we do the work of forgiveness, we move a little closer, we create more expansion inside, we feel more of God until you feel so much of God, then you've crossed the bridge. And then from the other side, when you stand on the bridge, you become a beacon that calls with your light others to come want to cross the bridge. Because they say, if you did it, so can I. If you were able to forgive me, I'm able to forgive me. I'm able to forgive you. And that's how we extend the kingdom of heaven to all. Paragraph 9. Today we practice letting freedom come to make its home with you. The truth bestows these words upon your mind that you may find the key to light and let the darkness end. Only my condemnation injures me. Only my own forgiveness sets me free. I condemn you, it hurts me. I forgive you, it frees me. Because now it frees me from judgment. Sentence number 5. Do not forget today that there can be no form of suffering that fails to hide an unforgiving thought. Any tiny little bit of unforgiveness, you're going to suffer. Nor can there be a form of pain forgiveness cannot heal. There is nothing forgiveness cannot heal. Absolutely, when it's sincere forgiveness, as we're being taught in A Course in Miracles. Paragraph 10. Accept the one illusion which proclaims there is no condemnation in God's Son, and heaven is remembered instantly. The world forgotten, all its weird beliefs forgotten with it, as the face of Christ appears unveiled at last in this one dream. You will remember the truth of who you are instantly as you practice this forgiveness and you begin to see how powerful it is. And all those weird thoughts, all those weird beliefs that there are people outside of us, that there are people who can hurt us, that there are people who are better than us, people that we're better than, all those weird thoughts, that somehow judgment is justified, that somehow I am the boss of me, that somehow I know better than you or you know better than me, all those weird beliefs will disappear once you come to know the truth of who you are. This is the gift the Holy Spirit holds for you from God your Father. Let today be celebrated both on earth and in your holy home as well. Celebrate it. Let the world rejoice with us. Oh my God, I tell my children, I am so free. You guys don't owe me anything. I tell my boyfriend now, you don't owe me anything. There's nothing that you can give me that's going to make me happier, more abundant, healthier, more peaceful, more joyful. Nothing he can give me. It's already in me. But when I share it with him, it gets multiplied. So my goal for us, I keep telling him, let's focus on what is good here. Let's focus on the love that we have. And if he's giving love to the relationship, I'm giving love to the relationship, it's multiplying. Not because either of us need it from the other, but because when two or more are gathered, there is extra love there. Okay, all the joy that we get to have, all the fun that we're experiencing because we're not using our time to condemn and blame each other. And when we do, and we each do it to the degree that we're capable of and at the speed that we're able to, we move through the process of forgiving. We acknowledge that it's our thoughts. We move through that and we clean things up and we return ourselves to our holy innocent state. It's absolutely amazing and beautiful. Sentence number 4 in paragraph 10. Be kind to both yourself and the world as you forgive the trespasses you thought them guilty of, and see your innocence shining upon you from the face of Christ. We're going to be kind. We got to be kind to everybody else. It's amazing. Now is there silence all around the world. Everything quiets when you're not judging. Now is there stillness where before there was a frantic rush of thoughts that made no sense. All that chatter in the head, all those voices in your head saying, hate him, it's justified, look what he did, I can't believe he did that, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 blah. All that noise quiets down when you stop judging. Now is there tranquil light across the face of earth, made quiet in a dreamless sleep. And now the word of God alone remains upon it. Only that can be perceived an instant longer. Only that can be perceived an instant longer. As we see the world as the beautiful place that it is, that perception of it only lasts for a little while. Then our symbol's done. And everything you ever thought you made completely vanishes from the mind that God forever knows to be his solely son. I am telling you that I have forgotten more things than I ever thought I would admit that I had forgotten. It is a beautiful process. I forget people's names. I forget the names of things, of trees, of plants. It's beautiful. I forget the names of places I've been to. Now I can see everything for what it is, much of it. I do remember a lot, but a lot I have forgotten. And it used to scare me. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I'm forgetting things. Am I getting Alzheimer's? Am I getting dementia? But what was happening was that my mind was being purified, and not labeling things allows me to be with it always like it's brand new. Not labeling, not knowing somebody's history allows me to be present to them as if it's fresh today. It's so amazing because now the whole world is fresh and new all the time. It's just incredible. Paragraph 12, there is no condemnation in him. You can't be condemning when you don't know anybody. What are you going to condemn them from? What's your name? Let me make up something about you. You don't do that when you forget all that you had made up about them to begin with and see them as God sees them. He is perfect in his holiness. He needs no thoughts of mercy. I don't have to forgive him. I don't have to think anything about them because I don't know them. Now God can feel them through me. Who could give him gifts when everything is his? I have nothing to give Dan. God already gave him all his gifts. You know, something funny, when I first met him, I didn't want to ask him what he did. I didn't want to know much about his life. And it was so funny because I had friends asking me, so what does he do? What blah, 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 asking questions about him. And I was like, I don't know. Oh, you like this guy? You don't know much about him? I'm like, exactly. I just feel the love that God has flowing through me for him. And it feels so good. I don't want to get out of the love because then I got to go into my head. So I had a friend, a well-meaning friend, who sent me a link to his profile somewhere. She found him online, and that's how I came to discover what he did, where he had worked. Until then, I didn't know anything. And you know what? I saw the website, I read a line or two and saw the picture, and it was like, yeah, that's him. And then I didn't read anymore because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. I don't want to fill my mind with information when my heart is full and feeling. It's unbelievable. And who could dream of offering forgiveness to the Son of sinlessness itself? So like to him whose Son he is, that to behold the Son is to perceive no more. When I behold the innocence of Dan, when I behold the perfection of this man called Dan, when I see the Christ in him, what else is there? That's the most delicious thing that there is I'm beholding God in my presence. Now I get to see what God created, not what Laina projected. And only know let me read this again. I got so excited I stopped. Sentence number 5. And who could dream of offering forgiveness to the Son of sinlessness itself? I don't have to forgive Dan. He's already sinless. He's perfect. So like him whose Son he is, that to behold the Son is to perceive no more. To see the truth of Dan is to not have a perception of him and only know the Father. I only know God because I feel God loving him. It's so amazing. In this vision of the Son, so brief that not an instant stands between the single sight and timelessness itself, you see the vision of yourself and then you disappear forever into God. I don't plan the future with him, with Dan. It's like things are just happening and we're moving. Yes, we have plans for a vacation or a trip at Thanksgiving to go visit his mother. Short-term trips, yes, we've got these things planned, but I'm not planning a future with him. I don't know what the future holds because there is no future. There is only now. I want to be present to loving that man now. I want to release judgments and fears now. I want to be there in this moment because when I am present in this moment and I don't know him, I don't use my past to decide that I know who he is being, and I stay open, curious about what is showing up. I disappear forever into God because I can feel God's love loving him. I get to be the presence of awareness, aware of how delicious love is when the mind is not thinking that it knows. It's beautiful, it's priceless, it's precious, it's so delicious. And I'm so grateful to God that that has happened through me because I was willing to do the work. I was committed from the beginning, that I began to know that my thoughts were mine and I could choose what I wanted to think. And then years of practice, the journey, the irritations, the projections, the work, I was consistent with it. And I am so grateful that I was so diligent. I know a lot of people want to be spiritual. A lot of people read a lot of books and go to a lot of workshops. God knows I've had plenty of them come and take mine. But few, like the Course tells us, few are willing to do the real work of questioning their thoughts. The majority want to be busy with attracting money, attracting a lover, going on a trip. Nothing wrong with those things. But if you're not practicing this work while you're attracting your job, while you're getting your lover, while you're going on vacation, you are not going to get there faster. It's not possible. Your suffering is going to be prolonged, and that's okay because you're choosing that instead of freedom. Because all decisions come from your mind. I know all came from mine. Paragraph 13. Today we come still nearer to the end of everything that yet would stand between this vision and our sight. And we are glad that we have come this far and recognize that he who brought us here will not forsake us now. Jesus has not left me. If anything, Jesus has integrated with me to the point that I don't really hear Jesus anymore. I experience a knowingness that doesn't have to come as a voice of Jesus. It's a knowingness that it is the Christ consciousness, and it's my own mind, my vast mind that I'm tapping into, because I'm tapping into the mind of God, because I removed the barrier that I created between my mind and God, which is called my thinking, my ego thinking, the thinking that I learned from the world. Sentence number 3 in paragraph 13, for he would give to us the gift that God has given us through him today. Jesus, God, consciousness, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, wants us to have that gift because it's what God designed from the beginning. Sitting over there, it's like it's being held out there, like in trust for us, like in an account somewhere. But the minute that we decide, let me receive it, it's there. It's been there always, all along. Now is the time for your deliverance. The time has come. The time has come today, if you choose for it to be so. Thank you, and I'll see you at the next lesson.